Greetings! I'm from exactly 7 months in the future, and I've got good news and bad news about Bitcoin. The good news is that the bear market ended back in March. The bad news is that you, me, and my entire film crew were distracted looking at the wrong chart, while the important one was actually going vertical this whole time. Luckily for you, I've brought back 3 artifacts in this box that I committed minor temporal crimes to retrieve, all of which prove that Bitcoin goes a whole lot higher this year. Artifact 1. Fix your posture. By the way, you are way too hunched over while you're watching this video. Michael Saylor's got a tricky new way of buying Bitcoin called STRC. You might have heard about it. In just the first 4 months of this year, STRC has accumulated over 81,000 Bitcoin, taken off the market. That's more than the entire Bitcoin mining industry has discovered in the same time frame. If you don't know what STRC is or how exactly it works, I made a video breaking it all down over here. But with a quick caveman analogy, Bitcoin go up, down, up, down, up, down. Many afraid. Saylor, not afraid. Saylor want more Bitcoin. So Saylor invent paper. Paper pay 11.5% dividends, or berries, and no up, down, up, down. Many people like. Grandma like, boss wife like, even boss mistress like. Everybody like stable paper and berries. So Saylor sell paper, get more Bitcoin, even in bear market. Now, what does this all have to do with setting a Bitcoin bottom? Whoa, editors getting a little bit freaky these days. Since November, every, and I mean every, traditional buyer of Bitcoin has become a seller. Treasury companies are selling, miners are selling, ETFs are selling, retail is selling, whales are selling. And yet, Bitcoin's price is 2 full deviations higher at this point in its collapse than every other bear market in history. Last time that Bitcoin was down 40 to 50% from the all-time highs, Strategy could only buy 28,000 BTC over the course of an entire year. They are buying that much with STRC in a single day. Wait till you see their September 17th buy. BlackRock recommends a 5% portfolio allocation to Bitcoin, but Saylor took that as 5% of the entire supply. In just a few weeks, STRC has accumulated more Bitcoin than most G7 nations, more than every treasury company in 2025 combined, and more than the entire Bitcoin network has mined this year. Now look, nobody likes watching one guy hoover up all the Bitcoin like a caveman eating all the berries. Gross, dude. Get a napkin. But I've got a story that will change how you view that. In 1870, nobody thought that oil had a future. 3 out of 4 refineries in America were going bankrupt. A barrel of oil would triple and then drop by 70% within a year. It was way too volatile to be used in any economic sense. Most factory owners ditched oil and bet that coal, kerosene, and steam were going to continue to dominate the Industrial Revolution. Yet, a guy named John D. Rockefeller disagreed, took out huge loans from banks and public markets, and bought these broken oil refineries at massive discounts. By 1880, Rockefeller and his company, Standard Oil, controlled 78% of the global oil supply. He became America's richest person and, fun fact, also got to design the modern American education system, which is probably why you have to get your finance history from a time traveler on YouTube. Lucky you. 2 things to take away here. The people who said that oil was too volatile weren't incorrect. They were just wrong about what would be built on top of that volatility. And second point, even with oil in every plastic bottle, road, and fighter jet over the Strait of Hormuz 150 years later, the Rockefellers don't really control that much. Mr. Beast has a higher net worth now. Saylor is Bitcoin's Rockefeller. He's taking a volatile, explosive Bitcoin and turning it into a more usable, less explosive financial product with a ton of demand. But there are way bigger players in Bitcoin at work than Saylor right now. And speaking of which, Artifact 2. Bitcoiners hate banks. Satoshi's first move when he kicked off Bitcoin was literally putting in the Genesis block something like "banks suck," Which makes it super awkward that 1.7 million Bitcoin went from wallets created when One Direction was still touring into the wallets of Charles Schwab, Morgan Stanley, and BlackRock. Now, I could pop up a bunch of headlines about why banks going all in on Bitcoin will send it to $2 million a coin by Hey, stop that. Stop doing that with the graphics. Anyways, the real story here is why the banks are suddenly going all in on Bitcoin after spending years calling it worthless. To me, it all has to do with this generation's great wealth transfer. See, baby boomers control 53% of all American wealth, about $84 trillion. But every 16 seconds, one of them passes away. Rest in peace. Their children, set to inherit their wealth, millennials, already own 53% of all crypto and Bitcoin. And their kids, Gen Z and Gen Alpha, for the 8 millennials still having kids, use Bitcoin and stablecoins every month. So if you're a bank, telling those generations that they own a Ponzi scheme is not exactly a profitable tactic, especially when your most loyal customer for the last 4 decades is passing away every 16 seconds. Oh, another one. This is happening to every bank in America at the same time. Their old customer base is dying, and their new customer base is already used to using hardware wallets and Coinbase for their money. It's also part of the reason why US banks are spending millions of dollars lobbying against the Clarity Stablecoin Act, which would allow stablecoin issuers to issue interest, kind of like a savings account. Overall, it's a hostage situation.
None of you seem to understand. I'm not locked in here with you.
That's it! You're locked in here with me!
This Bitcoin cycle, the biggest Bitcoin buyers, aside from Saylor, are the banks. And even at this size, Bitcoin is a rounding error on their balance sheet. They can sit through a 30 or 40% drawdown because Bitcoin isn't their main business, it's their hedge against not having one. Oh, but hey, in the future, if you don't want your Bitcoin to be JP Morgan's little pet, I will begrudgingly allow my editor that one. You can buy one of these. Most people think that self-custody is hard and annoying, like storing gold in a vault in your home, or caretaking for an eyeless rabbit. But the Jade Plus makes it super easy in 3 ways. It's got 2 super quick and secure ways to set it up in under 5 minutes. You can easily import any of your existing wallets or seed phrases to it, and it is packed with a ton of unique security features that I love that make it the best tool for Bitcoin privacy. If you want to pick up one of them at a hefty discount, you can use my code here. It also helps pay for the show, this little rascal's vet bills, and all the time traveling. All right, third and final artifact. It's empty. Or it's a metaphor for how little people give a shit about Bitcoin right now. Google Trends for the word Bitcoin hit their lowest search volume since 2019. The Fear and Greed Index for Bitcoin hit its lowest level ever. And the Bitcoin conference this year, more empty seats than my 8th birthday party. Maybe that one has less to do with the price and more to do with the fact that half the speakers were literal FBI agents this time. In any other market, sentiment this bad would mean that Bitcoin's price would be around 28,000 right now, which means we have somebody to blame for all this fear, but in a few months, somebody to thank for creating the shortest Bitcoin bear market on record. The crypto people. Most Bitcoin sentiment isn't really Bitcoin sentiment. Only 1 in 5 crypto holders just own Bitcoin. The rest are chasing DeFi yields, trading JPEGs, or holding altcoins in much deeper existential bear markets. Because, unfortunately, the only killer crypto product of the last 17 years is a coin that doesn't go up or down. From 2017 to 2024, other coins and blockchains made up roughly 40 to 60% of the entire digital asset ecosystem. But in 2026, they only make up 22%, their lowest proportional share in over a decade. So yeah, I'd be pretty depressed too. Retail is crypto, not Bitcoin. And retail gave up before the price did. The horses fled the barn before it was on fire. The barn wasn't even on fire. There is no barn. We're out of Wendy's. Did you want that Coke? No? Cool. When you see retail sentiment at all-time lows, what you're actually seeing is the last embers of the crypto space burning out. It's a lot of Bored Ape holders moving on to things like AI stocks or jobs. So what does it all add up to, you might ask? The marginal seller is basically wiped out. The marginal buyer is Rockefeller 2.0 and banks, which can literally print money out of thin air to buy assets. The stock market just reversed 4 months of recession, Iran war, and AI bubble fears in 11 trading days. If you think that Bitcoin is going lower this year, you're essentially betting on a global recession or a black swan event. Which is cool if you like trying to perfectly time the bottom of all those things. But unlike me, you're not a time traveler. You're a male, 22 to 45, watching this on a mobile phone or a TV in the United States. And even if you're not, the following will still apply to you. Your life is a tiny drop in the ocean of existence, waiting for you to drink from its vast body of water. It is a millisecond in a kaleidoscope of moments and memories gifted to you to experience the highs, the lows, and everything in between. Your life is a single breath in a universe of birth and death where fragility reminds us that life is short. So wake up and embrace the ride.